faithful, loyal, and honest. But how many of us are honest today?
From being one quiet, innocent-looking elementary school pikin for the border town of Daura, a place where no far at all from Nigeria border with Niger Republic, this pikin can't grow up to be a very tiny-looking man. A man where he named they cause fear to his fellow countrymen. So to mention that name, they must lock their door, call him inside their house. Even inside that house, now whisper safe, then go whisper.
It has to do with the human rights administration. So many politicians and other Nigerians were clamped in detention without opportunity of having fair hearing in the law courts. I think that was the main point against Buhari administration.
This man, a former secondary school classmate of Shehu Musa Yaradua, the late natural and influential number 2 man for the Obasanjo military dictatorship, and elder brother to the late President Umaru Musa Yaradua. People suspect say Shehu Yaradua died anyhow for the hand of the dreaded General Sani Abacha, a government where his own friend and former classmate served as chairman of Petroleum Trust Fund, PTF. He did for record say Yaradua and Muhammadu Buhari stay inside the same dormitory for secondary school. And now from there, them become friends, even though the friendship self be not too smooth. Later, Yaradua come join the school cadet corps. His name now Muhammadu Buhari, a retired army major general and former military dictator who overthrew the civilian government of Alhaji Shehu Alihu Shagari only 14 weeks into Shagari's second term for office. In name na General Muhammadu Buhari, the chairman of Petroleum Trust Fund, PTF, a section where operates separately like a government of its own under General Abacha. In name na General Muhammadu Buhari, a man where in military regime become the first in history to sentence a woman to death by firing squad. This na the story of the real Buhari, the man behind the iron mask. Peter Enahoro, one of Nigeria's finest journalists of all time, when he writes in autobiography for 2009, he described Buhari as a sadist, that na person when no they like happiness. The journalist can't even talk say Buhari na man when no like any other religion apart from his own religion, and him they practice their laws no matter how he affect others. The Nobel laureate himself, Professor Wole Soyinka self, don't describe Buhari as a man we love only his own tribe. Since Nigeria returned to democracy for the year 1999, the stone-faced, always vexed, cold-looking generals him quietly serve under the dreaded years of the Abacha Dracula dictatorship. Now, he don't become one of Nigeria opposition presidential aspirants. Buhari name they always they appear every time they want to do election for this country since the year 2003. 2015, be Buhari 5th time when he don't contest for Nigerian presidency. The first, now for 1983, when they successful through the barrel of the gun, as in take overthrow the democratically elected government. But others don't fail through the ballot box every time when he contest. Him be former governor for the northeastern states, where carry states like Borno, Yobe, Adamawa, Gombe, Bauchi, and Taraba states. And for January 1984, in Supreme Military Council, now like this, now the names take come. The makeup of Buhari Supreme Military Council also caused trouble for Southerners as the team begin worry them. Because if you check well, all the senior positions where they the Supreme Military Council, now also Northerners, and of course, Northern Muslim, now them nine food here. The 16 members of Buhari ruling Supreme Military Council, 11 now from North, while 5 now from south, with only Commodore Epitu Ukiwe representing the southeast, Brigadier Ola Oni from Lagos for the southwest. Even Fela, the great late musician, himself wonder why Shehu Shagari, why they no put him on trial. Even any of the Muslim northern governors of the ruling MPN, none of them, except Apa Aku of Benue State, will be Christian. But governors of the Christian South and other office holders, then put all of them for prison. For this kind matter, na make Fela sing, driver get accident, na conductor Buhari charge to court. Under Buhari regime, anyone fit go prison because him fit just wake up from sleep from any decree when he like. The list of those when suffer enter prison for this Buhari regime, some of them name be this: Sam Mbakwe, Fela Kuti, Femi Aribisala, Bisi Onabanjo, Bola Ige, Audu Ogbe, and so many others. Individual security, that na personal security, they very poor under the Buhari regime. That now why when court free Pa Adekunle Ajasin 2 times, then say he no dey guilty of the accusation when Buhari accuse him, say the man they corrupt. The Buhari regime rearrest him again, can't detain him under decree number 2. Decree number 2, for those with their alive that time, no say the thing they very popular. Buhari detain Tai Solarin, deny am medication even when Tai Solarin they get steady attack from asthma. In fact, due to the way Tai Solarin they condemn the Buhari military regime, say other regime not even they behave like this. Say other regime better pass am. Now so Buhari carry the man put for prison under the same decree number 2 of 1984. When Buhari take over, na so in detain Bisi Onabanjo of Ogun State, Kayode Lateef Jakonde of Lagos State, Sam Mbakwe of Imo, Apa Aku of Benue State, and Professor Ambrose Ali of the former Bender State, when now don't turn to Edo and Delta. This na men, when people, as at that time, they talk say na them be the best performing governors for the Second Republic. Oloye Victor Olabisi Onabanjo, they know am as man where they always talk true, where they always talk in mind, he not they pretend at all. And in administration for Ogun State, 9 people they talk say yes, this is not the role model way of government. In fact, for May 13, 1982, the man commissioned Ogun Television, the Ogun State University, where they find for the 7th of July, 1982. They can't even rename him Olabisi Onabanjo University for May 29, 2001, after the man don't die. The man also established the Abraham Adesanya Polytechnic. The man, oh God, this man go prison for 20 months and the man no last long after Buhari release him. This man, Buhari put them for prison so they small different type of disease come begin to attack them. Why then they for prison? Make we even talk of Ambrose Ali of Edo State, the late governor Apa Aku of Benue State, Bisi Onabanjo, them plenty. Professor Ambrose Ali and Sam Mbakwe, them die anyhow. Ambrose Ali come out from Buhari prison blind. The man poor so when he die, no house to bury him. Edo State government come build one better house for him, make it not for turn to disgrace. General Buhari do so he seized the passport of Papa Awolowo and denied the old man visit to Mayo Clinic where they for Rochester, for Minnesota, for United States of America, for all the period where Buhari ruled Nigeria. Awolowo passport na Babangida, General Ibrahim Babangida, na return the passport after himself can remove Buhari stylishly for government for the coup when in plot for 1985. After Babangida enter power, Naso Babangida sent Lieutenant General Aliu Mohammed Gusau to return Papa passport with many abeg from the Nigerian Armed Forces. All this come make us they remember the song where Hubert Ogunde sing for the mid-60s. Where this kind of accident happened for Nigeria political landscape, the years of the Wild West. Now, make we talk about Ekweme. As the military dictatorship of General Muhammadu Buhari try well to roast am for alleged corruption, that na dem just suspect saying they corrupt, na so dem begin pursue the man. Meanwhile, they no even fit see any evidence to take proof say Ekweme dey corrupt. Though the man dey prison for Kirikiri for 20 months, the Buhari regime no even fit come out for television talk say yes, this see evidence here, not be say that kind of thing happen. Yet the man remain for prison. When the man turned 80 years for 2012, Dr. Alex Ifeanyichukwu Ekweme can grant one interview, one vex interview. Oh God, in talk say they arrest him the night where Buhari plot the coup, they remove Shagari. During this interview, Ekweme talk.
After the Buhari regime put me in prison for serving my country so selflessly, I felt Nigeria was not worth dying for or sacrificing for. First, I was locked up in Bonny Camp, Lagos. From there, I was moved to Kirikiri Maximum Security Prison. When I was locked up in Kirikiri in January 1984, in February, this same Buhari, who was president of Nigeria, though unelected, called a press conference and said that I, Alex Ekweme, was responsible for all the corruption in government, that I was in charge of petroleum. First, I had nothing to do with petroleum. The Minister of Petroleum in our time was the president, like in Abacha's time. And the special advisor on petroleum was Yaya Diko. Buhari cannot even get one evidence to support what he was saying because they were lies. Blatant lies.
Check am. Person enter inside government, serve with all in church mind. Come put all in best power to make sure say this service go well. Sometimes the man no even dey sleep for night. Just dey try work out solution to the problem where they face the country with all open heart. And then this kind of man end up for prison as a reward. The man say make we self follow and think. Say this thing no be waiting person they gather people they do party for. No be waiting person go celebrate. The way where the thing come strong reach, Ayo Ojewumi and Professor Ambrose Ali, UPN governor of Bende State, come out of prison blind as a result of say then go prison for nothing. Not piakam nothing. Buhari personally scattered this beautiful plan and policies of the UPN Latif Jakonde civilian government when him take over. This plan where Jakonde been get na to improve transportation for Lagos, where be the federal capital territory at that time. For the year 1982, the Jakonde government signed 700 million naira contract for the Metro Line project, but Buhari scrapped the project. And not be small matter, this matter be. Then lost the $60 billion when they already deposit for this project. Even worse things still happen. Buhari ordered the judicial murder of Bernard Origedengbe. Order say make court sentence the man to death. When they sentenced to death under Decree 20 for a crime when the man commit before Decree 20 even come into existence. Whereas the original punishment for the crime where Buhari commit no even supposed strong reach that kind of punishment. Buhari refused to accept any apology where people begin begging, say making spare Ogedengbe life. Hence, Buhari under the state denied the individual where be Ogedengbe in life. Just like that. To summarize the state of security under President Buhari regime, Professor Wole Soyinka himself expressed in shock. See, any Nigerian go ever contemplate to vote for Buhari for this 2015. The man shocked. According to Soyinka,
Buhari enslaved the nation. He gloated and glorified in a master-slave relationship to the millions of his inhabitants. It is astonishing to find that the same former slaves, now free of their chains, should clamor to be ruled by one who not only turned their nation into a slave plantation, but forbade them any discussion of their condition.
Buhari, he canceled food subsidy for Nigeria universities. Kayode Soyinka, one big journalist and the writer of Diplomatic Baggage, Mossad and Nigeria, the Diko story, where them published for the year 1994, him writes this thing. Ken talk say the Buhari government, when they prosecute the war on corruption, give the NSO power to arrest and detain. The regime even take over the state security, decree number 2 of 1984. He give the NSO the power to detain anyone where they suspect to be security risk indefinitely. Meaning say, they don't even need to investigate the case. Once they suspect the person, he say, make them hold am. Chai. That is to say, make them detain these people for 3 months before they start to even judge the case at all. No be small matter. Now, make we look labor union and professional association. Then say they scatter all of them, then ban them. Chase some to the east, chase some to the west. Chase some outside Nigeria self. And some of this union, now the Nigerian Medical Association, NMA, the National Association of Resident Doctors, NARD, NAD, National Association of Nigerian Students, NANS, Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASU, all this union, Buhari banned them. The National Security Organization, Nigeria First Secret Police Service, they on ground, in fact, their major work that time when Buhari sent them, now to intimidate, harass, and detain protesters and demonstrators. That is to say, anybody will come out talk, say no like the way this man, they rule this country now. Oh yeah, straight to prison. And these people, some of them are students, lecturers, even people will just sit down and say, we don't like this government. The way people, they go Facebook and Twitter now, they talk. Now straight to prison. Some of them activists. Some people go just come out, gather people say, we no go agree, yo, straight to prison. And even civil servants, people where they work for government, when say, okay, today we don't strike, we not do work again. By October 1984, Buhari don't sack 200,000 civil servants. On the 15th of April 1985, Buhari announced the expulsion and deportation from Nigeria of more than 700,000 foreigners. That is, he drive all the people who will not be Nigerian come out for this country, especially from Ghana and other West African nations. The deadline na 10th of May, and the man not take a joke at all. Illegal immigrants must leave in less than 4 weeks. Not be small matter. Then talk say it was a massive exodus. Exodus, movement of their people, not be small thing, and not be the first time where that thing go happen.
Africa continues to be economically and politically disrupted by the mass movement of workers expelled from Nigeria. Almost 900,000 have already returned to Ghana alone. Sometimes the convoy stretches for 300 miles.
And they are killing many people. If you don't go, your life is at risk. Whether you like it or not, you should leave.
For the year 1985, 6 Nigerians, they arrest them, carry them go court, condemn them to death for drug trafficking, all by the Buhari Special Military Tribunal. Lasun Komi, Awolola, Oladele Omosebi, Jimmy Adebayo, Mrs. Sidikatu Tairi, Miss Shola Oguntayo, and Gladys Inyama. Gladys Inyama, then lock her for federal maximum security prison for Kirikiri for Lagos. This woman na cripple of 2 other crippled children, and na the first woman for the history of Nigeria when they sentenced to death. The Buhari government, they know the implication of, say, they kill woman when not even when they paralyzed, and mother of 2, and yet they no send. So therefore, them secretly approve the sentence. So then kill the woman secretly. The Gloria Okon case na serious matter. For 1985, Gloria Okon, them arrest her for Aminu Kano International Airport for drug trafficking allegations. The case then trace am go the people for government who provide security support for their careers. Which means say this Gloria Okon, she carry this drug for people waiting for government. Gloria Okon then talks say she die for detention. All in the name of make the woman no reveal secret. The cause of the death, till today, nobody know what happened. Then keep them a secret. Gloria Okon, as me and you they talk now, the woman then talks in a mystery which means say nobody even understand, nobody even see the human body, nobody even know wetin dey happen. All this happen when Buhari still there for power. For a man we don't commit this kind atrocities to people when he rule back then, we feel say wetin Buhari suppose even they do now, as in don't old like this, now to begin ask people for forgiveness. Those when him sentence their family to death, those when him flog with the military men for street during the year of war against indiscipline, those people when he even seize their motor, those people when he treat badly that year, he suppose come out now, this present day, begin beg them, say I beg, make una forgive me. But the man, if you check am well, he not even they remember what happened for the past. As far as the man they concerned, the general, he know they think about him past. The only thing where they important to him now in future. And the truth about the thing be say, if you check the kind of thing where this man don't do for the past, you gonna say the future of it even worse, because he not even show any sign of say anything happen. Now, in fact, the primary matter be say him no remember. Now we suffer him. Now they remember. For the 20th day of March 1984, Buhari and Idi Agbon regime then launched war against indiscipline.
To little but important everyday manifestations of indiscipline, such as rushing into buses, constituting ourselves into public nuisances, working without commitment. Up to this moment, there has been no formal declaration of war against indiscipline. It is my pleasure, therefore, to declare today the launching day for the war against indiscipline.
Many Nigerians no fit forget the koboko or bulala when them collect, when land for their back, when land for their face, when land for their hand, just because of say they no queue up for bus stop, or if they even drop one piece of paper for floor. Now so soldiers go begin beat people like say them thief. Soldier, as at that time, if soldier cough, fear no go let policeman turn left or right. Now so soldier they beat policemen for street. Civilians, those ones they useless for soldier. Now so soldier they beat them regularly. Even the police, when soldiers they oppress that time, now so the police they carry the oppression, they enter the civilians. That time, all of us where they exist that time get only one name: bloody civilians. Now so you go see man where wear suit, they do frog jump for road. Sometimes some of them go they come from church or different location with their family. Mama and pikin go stand for corner, papa go they do frog jump. Also, General Buhari, now in regime, now we start to see Muslim and Christian religious one thing. Before that time, nobody they think of that kind of thing for this country. During that time when that man they rule, for February, March for 1984, he get one group where they call Metatsin, where their leader be Musa Makaniki. Now so them begin destroy things, scatter places for Yola, for Adamawa State, and about 1,000 people then lost their life. Now so Buhari self make one law under Decree 4. He say anybody will publish anything or any material where be like say he want talk one kind about government official, the person go straight, go face the music, or rather the VIP treatment. On the 11th of April 1984, operatives of NSO arrest two journalists, Tunde Thompson and Nduka Irabo, where they work for Guardian newspaper. Now so them bring them before special military tribunal, accuse them falsely, say them they write rubbish against public officials. Even though everybody knows say within these journalists they write, now true and a fine, correct story. So on the 2nd of June 1984, now so then summon them from the tribunal and read within they accuse them of. From 2 public officers, protection against false accusation. Decree number 4 of 1984, someone to accuse that you, Tunde Thompson and Nduka Irabo of Guardian Newspaper Limited, Rutam House, Isolo, on April 1, 1984, did publish false statements contrary to Section 1 of Decree number 4 of 1984. You are therefore summoned to appear before the tribunal mentioned above, sitting at Federal High Court on the 4th day of June at the hour of 9 o'clock in the morning to answer the said complaint. Their employer, Guardian Newspaper Limited, then also accused himself. On Decree 4, Buhari not even ready to repent at all. Buhari talks say it no matter whether the story where they report whether not true or not lie, as long as say their government not like that story, the writer they go to jail. Beko Lolari Ransom Kuti, that's not the one we all of us know as Beko. Now he be chairman of the Lagos branch of Nigerian Medical Association, and later then turned into the national deputy. For 1984, in brother fella, them arrest him for airport, as in they prepare to travel for a U.S. store. Them talk say Amnesty International describe as spurious charges of illegally exporting foreign currency. They imagine, them talk say fella, they carry Nigerian money illegally, they go foreign country. Then come bring another decree we allow them to give them immediate arrest. And of course, they already can't fell at that time as one of their political opponents. The government of General Muhammadu Buhari sentenced Fela to 10 years in prison. Ransom Kuti, he used a medical association platform, so he begin campaign, make them revoke that decree and make them release Fela and the other people with their arrest. But to the man's surprise, then carry himself, go join him brother for prison. Then release him for the year 1985. Who? General Ibrahim Babangida, after him overthrow Buhari. Against the background of judicial murder of Owo, Ogedengbe, and Ojuolokwe. If we go understand this thing well, you go find out, say, the Sharia mindset of General Buhari, if you check out well, they behave like Taliban people. That is, what people will call a living modern day apostle of Hammurabi Code of Law. That's not the law of Moses, an eye for an eye. If you face me, I go face you. Deck me, I go deck you. But for this case, the people not even deck them. That's when they deck them. They get another case of 53 suitcases where involve the father of Buhari, ADC. That's not the man where they stand for Buhari back, Colonel Mustafa Jokolo. When his father be the former emir of Gwandu, and the man self na Buhari half brother. The man helped his father, the emir of Gwandu, to smuggle enter this country through Muritala Mohammed International Airport, 53 suitcases, when people suspect, say, na foreign currency, that is dollars, pound, and the rest of them. Not be small matter. Then the administrator of Lagos Airport Customs Command, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, they not allow him to search. Make we look at Diko. On the 5th of July 1984, a team of Nigerian security operatives, when their leader be Major Muhammad Yusufu, and Israeli Katsas, na so them arrange themselves, enter London, go kidnap and bundle back to Nigeria, Umaru Diko. First of all, them drug him. Secondly, they come put him inside crate. They can write for the crate, diplomatic baggage. Now so them put him inside one empty Nigerian Airways 707 Boeing plane. The plane they already stand by for airport. For London, they wait, make them bring the man, come back to Nigeria. Which means, say, them plot him, like, say, them be kidnapping group. The man then bring him right, come back to Nigeria. Then come put him for inside van. Now so them drive and go airport. Then pass him as diplomatic luggage from Nigeria embassy. The man himself, Diko, talked for interview with BBC for 1985.
I remember the very violent way in which I was grabbed and hauled into a van, with a huge fellow sitting on my head, and the way in which they immediately put on me handcuffs and chains on my legs.
The Nigerian Airways crew, the British people provoke, so then detain them. And Buhari not give up. Buhari self can order the British Caledonian plane. We don't already there for air. They fly from Lagos to London from Kano. Now so he tell them, say me then return them back to Lagos. Himself detain the plane. Immediately, the United Kingdom released the Nigerian Airways crew. Now so Buhari self free their own plane. Oh yeah, make it go London. 17 men too, London people arrest them. 4 of them, they later sentenced them to 10 to 14 years for prison. And some of them include the anathetist, 2 Mossad agents, we hide inside the second crate, and Yusufu. All of them, so then released them after they spent like 6 to 8 years, plus 5 years for jail. And so then quietly deported them. But Buhari smiled because himself get plan. Buhari retaliates. He pick up 2 British engineers where they work for Nigeria. And so he give them 14 years prison sentence. To get Diko, Buhari can go seek the help of one Israeli business wayorist when his name be Elisha Cohen. Cohen, where don't originally come Nigeria before during the 60s as a representative of Reynolds. One small company where another big Israeli construction company, Solel Bonen, gets. After a small time when the man spent for Nigeria, and so the man turned to friends with many military officers like Obasanjo. All these people inside follow them, they do business. Buhari give this man $5 million. And with Rafin Dadi, the head of the NSO, Major General Haladu Hananiya, the Nigerian High Commissioner to Britain, and Group Captain Bernard Banfa, the Managing Director of the Nigerian Airways, now so them plan together, go kidnap Diko.
Did your government plan this kidnapping? Why was one of your officials at Stansted Airport last night?
I'm not aware of that.
You're not aware, but it was one of your officials.
I wasn't aware.
Why is the aircraft, the British Caledonian aircraft, held in Nigeria?
I'm not aware of that one.
Have you
Ask
been
the Minister.
What did you tell the Minister
Despite
General?
the High Commissioner's denials, 17 people, most of them Nigerians, are now being questioned about the kidnapping. 14 are being held at the high-security Paddington Green police station.
Most of the 14 are Nigerians, but 2 are believed to be Israeli mercenaries who were found inside crates at Stansted last night with Mr. Diko. The entire crew of a Nigerian freight plane that should have been leaving Stansted last night is also being questioned. Paul Davis, News at 1, Paddington Green police station.
Immediately after the Umar Diko kidnap saga, the British satirical magazine Private Eye can begin attack Nigeria. Now so they begin mock Nigeria. One of the famous headlines where people know they ever forget now, Fly Nigeria is a great way to travel. Imagine. Instead of great way now great way. According to the writer again, Peter Enahoro, he talks saying now one of the most worst crime where they don't ever commit by any African government outside their own country. He said the disgraceful incident took Nigeria's reputation into a tailspin worldwide. It means say now since then we were in the hail before. Now so them begin use back of hand drive us. Because they say we no get level. Even in own secondary school classmate and Kingsman, and even friend, Shehu Musa Yaradua, for him own official biography, him states say in frustration with Buhari, he say the absence of a transition agenda. But he also regard Buhari failure as a result of overly authoritarian instincts, including his inability to maintain a united front among senior commanders. It means say Buhari no send anybody message. Now wetin he won't do, now him they do. And he say this kind of thing, now it still cause Buhari failure. 1 year and 8 months after the terrible 2-wrecked Second Republic, the Buhari Idiagbon regime, and so Babangida Harry Broom sweep them come up for office. He plan am well. He plan am. Peter Enahoro call am a classic palace coup. Now, this is now wetin Peter Enahoro write. Idi Agbon, the regime Rottweiler, was in Mecca performing the Hajj, which left his mate, Dervish Buhari, desperately exposed. Army Chief of Staff, Major General Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida, emerged as the new leader, supported by the coup announcer, Major General Sani Abacha, an enigmatic schemer Nigeria would come to love to hate. No be small matter. They explain, say, no be small thing. He say, Idi Agbon wey be say, na him Buhari they send, go they do things, na him people fear pass for the regime. Na so the man come out, go Mecca, make him go pray to God. Na so na Babangida say, correct, this place don't open. Na so him plan am well. While him they busy, they take over, him send General Sani Abacha, go for television, make him go announce, say a new government don't take over power. Na so then they drive Buhari come out.
Well, Buhari has not delivered the goods. He has not been able to decide on what to do with the detainees from Shehu Shagari's previous regime. He has not come up with a comprehensive economic policy. He has built himself into a corner.
Peter Enahoro still talk say the two terrorists began to construct the Nigerian of their vision. Fascism without the Hitler straight arm salute. Among their emphatic achievements was the execution of a female convict by a firing squad, a first for a military regime in Nigeria. To cut this long story short, then talk say if you don't hear of the man where they call Hey Hitler, now that kind of government where that man run, Naim Buhari and Idi Agbon plan to run, then dream and for sleep, then wake up say now this kind of thing, now we won't do. The only difference be say their own, no be everybody go stand the salute, hail Hitler, hail Buhari, hail Idi Agbon, now so it be. Now only Buhari government, as at that time, nine don't sentence people with the Guinness Book of Records sentence, will be from 100 to 600 years in jail. 2.8 billion saga, one of Fela hit song.
2.8 billion naira, oil money is missing. 2.8 billion naira, oil money is missing. Then set up inquiry. They say money no lost you. The dabaru everybody.
Nobody they forget this line. 2.8 billion naira. This same money is missing. One of Fela hit song. Now about the disappearance of 2.8 billion naira from NMPC account when then still under the Korokoro eye of General Muhammadu Buhari when he be petroleum minister and head of NMPC for the year 1978. So people begin pressurize the Shehu Shagari government when take over shortly after the military. Now so the Shehu Shagari government can set up Senate probe. They can trace the money, go on London Midland bank account where belong to Buhari, from where the money again disappear after then discover. The value of 2.8 billion naira for 1978 today go be $3 billion. Or if we decide to convert into naira, 555 billion naira. Now the money go be. The person will be Senate Majority Leader and Chairman of the Senate Probe Panel. That time, now Dr. Abubakar Olushola Saraki. The man revealed for the discovery during one interview when in grant with Vera Ifudu of the Nigerian Television Authority, NTA. When Ifudu reports, the talk is clear, say see what thing happen, and now so then sack her from NTA. But the lady no give up. She protests. She go court. She present all the evidence, and she win the case of wrongful dismissal. Why they go sack her like that? Even the Saraki, till the man die, he no ever deny, said, no, I not tell Ifudu. That matter. The man not deny the case. As people suspect, the first thing when Buhari and him people them do when they kidnap power that year, not to enter inside the Senate destroy all the papers where relate to that 2.8 billion naira probe. And then follow. And so then begin they arrest all the politicians which took out for that matter as at that time. Wole Soyinka, 2007 by James Sambo. Published by Sahara Reporters, January 14, 2007.
In Buhari, we have been offered no evidence of the surest prospect of change. On the contrary, all evidence suggests that this is one individual who remains convinced that this is one ex-ruler that the nation cannot call to order. Buhari was one of the generals who treated a commission of inquiry, the Oputa panel, with unconcealed disdain.
Soyinka can continue to describe the execution of Owo, Ogedengbe, and Ojuolakpe as nothing short of premeditated murder, which means say them plan say na so we go do am. It no matter how the result come out, now like this we go do am. Soyinka can add,
since leaving office, Buhari has declared in the most categorical terms that he had no regrets over this murder and will do so again. Tai Solarin was incarcerated by that regime and denied even the medication for his asthmatic condition, according to Soyinka, unquote. Tai did not ask to be sent for treatment overseas. All he asked was his traditional medicine that had proved so effective after years of struggle with asthma.
To cut this particular line short, he said the man major plan again now to take us back to the slavery days, just like him and Idi Agbon been do. Even Tai Solarin, where them put for jail, then deny him of medication for his asthmatic condition. That na Tai Solarin, he no talk say me then send him overseas for treatment too. All the man ask for na in traditional medicine. Chief Adekunle Ajasin. Soyinka right.
Ajasin was arraigned and tried before Buhari's punitive tribunal, but acquitted. Dissatisfied, Buhari ordered his retrial. Again, the tribunal could not find this man guilty of a single crime. So once again, he was returned for trial, only to be acquitted of all charges of corruption or abuse of office. Was Chief Ajasin thereby released? No. He was ordered detained indefinitely.
Another case day when Buhari humiliates the treatment of the then Emir of Kano, Alhaji Ado Bayero, and Oba Siduaje, the Oni of Ife, in vex. That's why they go visit Israel. And these people go Israel for their private matter and for their private business. Now, the question we will ask, since when free citizen of Nigeria can require permission of head of state to visit foreign nation? Foreign nation where they on their own talk say we go give na tourist visa. He can talk say the case of humiliation of Ado Bayero and the Oni of Ife demonstrate Buhari total lack of respect for traditional rulers. For 1999, Obasanjo set up a management investigation panel to probe the activities of PTF, that na Petroleum Trust Fund, under Buhari. The report we then get that time from the investigative committee then reveal say the Afri Project Consortium, where they call APC that time, say na PTF na give her this contract as management and project consultant. Buhari, as executive chairman of PTF, give them the power of engineer to the all project. Afri Project Consortium can assume absolute power of initiation, approval and execution of all projects. PTF, to make the matter worse, the PTF trustee, group captain Usman Jibril, can talk say, that time Buhari bring the late Amal Salihijo, we be in-law, without informing anybody. We just did meeting, now so we see them. We begin ask questions. Who be these people? We even ask Buhari, who be these boys? He say, they just the help am. They take notes. We don't understand how it take employ them as consultants without our own knowledge and consent. Because all of us supposed to be member. So I can't tell them, say, this is the way you do they wrong. Go. As trustee, if something go wrong, now we be the people where be say, then go prosecute. Not be any other person. I can't tell them, say me they change the procedure. And they not even answer me. I said, okay, bye-bye. That's why I resign. Sally Hijo, when the report saying die, the same day when they set up the committee to probe PTF, now so we hear say Sally Hijo don't die. And now him be the owner of Afri Project Consortium, APC. APC then finger them for the matter for overcharging PTF for up to about 25 billion by the Interim Management Committee, and for also importing bad and soon to be expired drugs for overinflated prices. Now so people begin ask questions. They can't ask, if we can finally vote this Buhari as president for this 2015, it shall say this man go fight corruption. So this question, this day newspaper, they ask him for January 11, 2015. Find out, you go see him. They hold the original copy of the report by the Petroleum Trust Fund, PTF, Interim Management Committee, when they formed for July 7, 1999, by former President Olusegun Obasanjo. By the time then they dissolved this committee again, by the same President Obasanjo for 1999, the record shows say then collect 181,795,000,000 naira. And Ahmed Salihijo, Buhari brother-in-law, now in the front of this whole collection for the organization. Buhari now be the Caesar of that particular empire. And even this one we did now. But that in a case of the voice of Jacob and the hands of Esau. If you understand me, Salihijo, Jacob, Buhari, Esau. 2011 election. Even though the 2011 election then say na the cleanest election so far since Nigeria returned to democracy for the year 1999. Good make una remember say Buhari and his supporters they enter war. And according to Human Rights Watch, it dey among the bloodiest. Over 800 Nigerians die. And about 60,000 more lost their houses. Too many violence happened for northern states when Buhari supporters they protest. The thing can even turn to violent riots. Then they enter offices, go they kill people. Former FCT minister Malam Nasser El-Rufai, in his capacity, that is for him power as APC Deputy National Secretary for January 2014, talks say the next election is likely to be violent and many people are likely going to die. And the only alternative left to get power is to take it by force. This is the reality on ground. Dateline, May 14, 2012. Buhari, they address supporters for Kaduna. Buhari talks say, if waiting happened for 2011 happen again for 2015, by the grace of God, the dog and the baboon will all be soaked in blood. For this particular next election, Buhari, they suggest, say, 2015, the violence fit take hand, they touch sky, so make nobody take it lightly. Buhari own position and his own stand for Sharia law for Nigeria don't they well documented. He don't plan them down. He don't make several statements where relate to this matter. In talk say Christians should not worry when Muslims chop off their own arms and hands in the name of Sharia, because it is none of their business. Only Muslims should only vote for Muslims or for those that will protect their interest. That now wetin Buhari talk. Major General Buhari attend Lagos State Interdenominational Thanksgiving Service with his running mate, Professor Yomi Osibanjo. The General Overseer of the Redeemed Christian Church of God, Pastor Enoch Adeboye, and Governor Babatunde Fashola, all these men, na so then they waka majestically with their wife. Now only Buhari, they waka solo. For a man where they preach change, and we get the mind, the desire to rule a country, where be say women plenty, this same man no get wife. Well, this not be the first time when his wife, Aisha Buhari, when then they leave her for back. Even when her husband they contest for 2003, the woman not even show face. That now when he run against Obasanjo, he lost. 4 years later, nothing changed, but Buhari lost for 2011. At least not be a person we sentence a crippled woman we get 2 children by firing squad. You go no say this man no send woman. For the year 1971, Buhari married his first wife, Safina to Buhari, we be Nigerian first lady for the year 1983 to 1985. Then born 5 children together. 1988, Buhari divorced his first wife, Safinatu. For December 1989, Buhari married his second and present wife, where her name be Aisha Buhari. Them also born 5 children together, 1 boy and 4 girls. For one interview with Liberty FM Radio Kaduna on Sunday, June 2nd, 2013, Buhari talked this thing. While the Niger Delta were treated like kings, the Jumatu, Ahis, Suna, Lida, Awati, Wal Jihad, which some people call Boko Haram, are being killed and their houses destroyed, unlike the special treatment given to the Niger Delta militants. This is injustice to northern Nigeria. General Buhari na man when he be say, once in fight anyhow to collect power, before you know, he go carry this power to empower some other people, make them begin to do things on his behalf. People go testify when they alive that time, say General Diagbo, when be vice president to General Buhari, been they behave like say, na him be president. Even Buhari himself, when General Abacha appointed him as executive chairman of the Petroleum Special Trust Fund, PTF, 1994 to 1999, the man not take the power personal at all. He carry power, now so he dash one consultant firm, where they call Afri Project Consortium, APC, although this firm, na him brother-in-law, na him be the chairman. This APC get exclusive power to initiate projects. Them get key to take open any door, and them get right to put price for on top anything where them like. Now so then they execute project like no man business. Them get access to quality execution. Nobody, they supervise them. I know say some of them they believe say this sharing of power is a good thing. No. It simply means say Buhari not the fit take decision by himself. He prove him again. After them appoint him as the presidential candidate of All Progressives Congress, APC, the man not even picking running mate. If you check the way they do him before, now so they carry power, they give people. This time, he carry power, give the party national leader, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. That one, now he can pick Osibanjo. For 3 consecutive elections, Nigeria don't talk say, we don't want Buhari to be our president. We don't talk him since 1999, but Buhari no they ever take no for answer. Now, if you check well, this man get honor at all? I be this man they loyal to anybody, or this man just they desperate? We go find out. If we check well, out of say, make person even look this man well. Buhari not be person where they sabi trust people. Buhari not be person where they sabi work with people for long. If you check well, since 2003, Buhari don't join APP. Buhari join AMPP. Buhari come from CPC. Now, Buhari dey APC. If you check well, it dey obvious. Say this man a political journeyman. Buhari go be 73 years old for this 2015. If them vote him as president and he can run for second term for office, that time he go dey 81 years. Now, for man when he first be head of state, now 41 years, now he be. If you check well, that means 40 years, now the man go be when he dey second tenure. Make we stop first, make we even ask this question. Buhari be like person we get patient to be Nigerian president for this democratic regime of social media and everything. The former Minister of Federal Capital Territory, FCT, Malam Nasser El-Rufai, and present APC governorship candidate for Kaduna State, write for public letter for October 2010. Say Buhari remains perpetually unelectable, which means say this man not be person when they're even supposed to vote for. He talk say Buhari insensitivity to Nigeria's diversity and his parochial focus are already well known, which means say the man no one know whether this one is a Christian, this one a Muslim. All of us, they're the same country, so therefore we're supposed to exist together. Now only in Muslim background did they see all the Christians no make sense to them. We can't ask this question today. 4 years after El-Rufai, don't talk this kind of talk. Now it can be APC. Can they tell us now? Say make we forget all those things we don't talk about Buhari before. Make we begin vote now. Make we begin celebrate the Buhari. That same man when we're not supposed to vote for. The truth about the matter be say, Buhari go destroy Nigeria now, just like he do 30 years ago. Rain fit beat Leopardo, but he not go feel washing spots come out. I agree to now.
But Buhari pull over. Buhari pull over. Reverse. Buhari pull over. Buhari pull over. Show me your certificate or your pull over. Buhari pull over. No deceive us. Buhari pull over. Buhari pull over. But Buhari pull over. Buhari pull over. Reverse. Buhari pull over. Buhari pull over. Show me your certificate or your pull over.